Hello, and thank you for watching Sabina Reefing, where we go over product reviews and how-tos, livestock care and selection, maintenance, tips, and tricks. Come on, let me show you. Tap water is just like it sounds, comes right out of the tap. It's not the best way when you're running a reef tank because it often is full of other metals and things that you don't want to accidentally add to your reef tank. I don't recommend doing this if you're going to try and keep corals in your tank. I have kept fish-only tanks with tap water and salt out of a bag, and it works just fine. But I do not recommend it on a reef tank. It's probably going to kill your corals. The next step is RO. RO stands for reverse osmosis. This is a membrane. Specifically, I'm using the GE membrane. It takes and uses pressure out of your tap to do work on the water, and it produces two streams of water. Water that's clean and water that's dirty, so you have to throw the water that's dirty down the drain and keep the clean water. So for every gallon of RO water, you usually end up with 2 to 3 gallons of wastewater, which sounds kind of wasteful at first, but considering it's saving lives of your reef tank inhabitants, it's a small cost to pay. They last a fairly long time, and it's not overly expensive to get one of these RO systems. This should be one of your first purchases if you're going to be getting into a large reef tank. So the next step is RODI, which stands for reverse osmosis de-ionized. This is where they take the RO water that we just talked about and they send it through a deionizing bed. It has 2 different beads, positive and negative charge, and it'll try and pull those negative or positively charged ions out of the water and hold on to them in the bed. This is probably the best way to run a reef tank. It ends up with 0 TDS, so ultra clean water, perfect for making salt water or topping off your aquarium. Most people in the aquarium hobby use this as a standard. One of the downsides with a reverse osmosis or an RODI system is that you have to actually maintain them to get performance out of them. So you'll need to change the deionizing beds, you'll need to change the sediment filter, that's where it catches the big particulates that might get into the rest of your filter, and you'll also have to change the carbon blocks, which is a fairly easy process to do, but you still have to do it. So let me show you how it's done. Replacing the sediment and carbon blocks is straightforward. Unscrew them, put a new one in. We're going to be refilling some RODI cartridges. I like to stack them up until I get about 4 of them. So let's begin. The BRS mix bed. I store it in a big old storage container. So I have one that's already made, and I keep the lid nice and tight so that it's semi-tight. My favorite tool to use is actually a empty beer bottle. Fits perfectly inside the canisters and gets you a nice tight pack on the DI resin. After you put the DI resin in, you slide the filters back on, tighten them back down. I like to do 3 or 4 at a time. That way when I make a mess, I've made only 1 mess in the sink instead of 5 messes over 10 days. So once you get all done, you just slide them back in your unit just like you would the carbon or sediment filter, and you're done. Thank you for watching this episode of Sabina Reefing. I've got a video here and a playlist. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.